Hey guys, so Black Ops 4 releases very soon, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. I think it has some real promise that most modern COD games were really lacking in. Whilst I am excited for the game, I am very aware of Call of Duty's trend to forget what was done differently before, and unfortunately repeat the same things that turn many people off in other iterations of the franchise. Today we are looking at 5 things Black Ops 4 can do better than previous Call of Duty titles. Pretty much every Call of Duty game that has had specialists has had that one guy. You know, the one guy, and every time you see him come in, you just think, "Oh, fuck!" In Black Ops 3 it was the Purifier, in Infinite Warfare it was the Claw, and hopefully in Black Ops 4 all of the specialists will try to avoid feeling as cheap as possible. Let's face it, that's probably not going to happen, at least not at launch, with characters like Firebreak making a return along with his Purifier. It seems like we'll probably be having some issues with specialists again. Hopefully Treyarch will be a bit more responsive this time to some of the issues that might arise with specialists and their abilities, rather than letting them go unchecked for months or even years. So let's not try and make any mistakes here. I'm definitely not looking for skill-based matchmaking at all. Whilst that may work in games like Overwatch, Rainbow Six and such, I don't think it's a fit for something as casual as Call of Duty. However, the last few COD titles I've played have followed a weird format when it comes to matchmaking. All's fine for quite a long while actually, and then the game seems to hit a period where it puts completely new players and prestige masters in the same game over and over again, leading to either very one-sided games, or the game depending on a handful of players doing well, whilst trying to carry the rest of their respective teams. And then when the new Call of Duty game for that year comes out, the player base of the previous Call of Duty title drops, and the matchmaking seems to fix itself, and matchmaking becomes a lot more reliable in putting together matches with players that aren't completely incompetent, but also won't be one-bursting you across the map from spawn. I have absolutely no idea what causes this, and it would be nice to see it addressed in Black Ops 4. Again, full-on skill-based matchmaking just doesn't suit COD in my opinion. I know Black Ops 4 is pushing for a harder focus on teamwork, but I really don't see that overtaking the usual lone wolf casual style, at least not in modes like Team Deathmatch, where this issue was really problematic in the past. Maybe a slightly watered down version of skill-based matchmaking, so you're not stuck either being crushed by prestige masters or trying to carry your entire team with little help. I'm not sure it'll work. I'm just hoping that the mid to late life cycle of Black Ops 4 isn't the same as the past few titles. So when I think back to Modern Warfare 2, it wasn't exactly my favourite Call of Duty title, but one thing I will always say is that the game had a brilliant challenge system. Along with regular headshot and kill challenges like in, well, pretty much every first-person shooter now, Modern Warfare 2 had some wacky and weird challenges like running thousands of miles with a perk equipped, getting throw knife kills across the map, absorbing damage with a riot shield and more. Whilst challenges definitely haven't disappeared from the franchise and probably never will, no game's challenges have ever really appealed to me and encouraged me to play and try and complete all the game had to offer. Modern Warfare 2 really mixed the standard challenges you'd expect from most casual shooter games with some weird offbeat challenges that gave the multiplayer that little bit of extra replayability that really mattered, along with the fact you could unlock cool emblems and titles. Micro DLC is a really weird thing in Call of Duty. Pretty much unseen until Black Ops 2, the title introduced special camos that could be purchased directly for a relatively cheap price. These camos could be applied to pretty much every weapon, and most looked really good. From the Pack-a-Punch camo from Zombies to a skin that was made from bacon, Black Ops 2 had one of the best micro DLC systems in a Call of Duty title, and it makes sense because it was the first one to introduce these micro DLCs. In pretty much every Call of Duty since then though, most if not all of the micro DLC has been locked behind loot boxes. From a business point of view it makes sense. Customers can spend $2 for one thing, or they can spend $20 for a chance to get that one thing, whilst also getting bonus items they may or may not want. From the viewpoint of the customer, people don't like spending money over and over again, or grinding endlessly to get an item they have a tiny chance to get. I understand loot boxes aren't going away anytime soon, but I'd definitely like to see the option to buy unique camos or cosmetics that aren't available in the loot boxes directly. Even seeing something like the return of the camos available to purchase in Black Ops 2 would be great, seeing as the majority of those camos were very well liked by the community. Seeing as Black Ops 4 is closer to Black Ops 2 in the whole story timeline, this would make sense in that way, and also would definitely make customers a bit happier than having to grind for loot boxes. Speaking of loot boxes, there are no two ways to look at it. Very few people actually enjoy spending money on loot boxes. It's fun to open them and get something good, but when most of the openings just give you pointless filler items that will never see the light of day from your inventory, it's never fun. This practice, while most people do completely agree it's unfair, and it's pretty much a method of gambling, isn't going away anytime soon, even with the recent kickback from consumers and even governments. Black Ops 3, for me, was probably one of the most egregious and obnoxious uses of loot boxes in recent memory. All new weapons were locked inside the boxes, which rolled for a massive loot pool packed to the brim with filler. The chance for actually attaining these new weapons, which often outperformed or at least challenged existing weapons in the game, was far too low, and they had no reliable method of attaining them. Modern Warfare Remastered and World War II offered collections to allow you to earn weapons without paying money, though these collections often required a lot of salvage, which was earned through getting duplicates in loot boxes, again encouraging more spending on loot boxes. In my mind, the Call of Duty game that handled loot boxes best was Infinite Warfare. Yes, I'm going to be praising Infinite Warfare here. Whilst the loot boxes definitely had their fair share of filler, as pretty much all have, Season Pass holders were given all new weapons for free upon their release, apart from the axe if I remember correctly. Simply giving players the base variants of all DLC weapons for owning the Season Pass was a great decision, but the new weapons always had variants in every single rarity class, meaning that it was very easy to attain a new weapon if you weren't a Season Pass holder, and thus the base variant to go with it by rolling a common variant from the loot boxes. While some of the arguably better variants were still locked to the higher rarity tiers, the base variant of any DLC weapon was always great to have to be able to play with a new gun. Honestly, Infinite Warfare really treated their Season Pass holders well. The game, whilst instantly lambasted by most upon its release of its trailer, was handled brilliantly in the loot box system by Infinity Ward, and if Black Ops 4 is going to replicate any system from previous CODs for its loot box system, Infinite Warfare system would be the absolute best choice. So that has been 5 things I want to see Black Ops 4 do better than previous COD titles. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like and let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see Black Ops 4 do better than its predecessors. We have a brand new Discord server for the channel that anyone is very welcome to join. The invite link can be found either in the description of this video or on my channel banner. Our Discord is a place to find new friends, play games, hang out, chat and suggest stuff for new videos. Also, whilst you're there, don't forget to check out the channel. There is much more content coming with a big focus on Black Ops 4 in the coming weeks, with content for zombies, Blackout and multiplayer all being covered right here on the channel, so subscribe and hit the notification bell to be the first to see the next upcoming Black Ops 4 videos and join us on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Again, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.